Hey everybody, welcome back to my shop. Today I'm going to be making some cutting boards and a matching cheese board. I'm going to be using some really nice cherry that I got and some hard maple. So let's get started. Now the first thing I want to do is cut these long boards to rough size, and that's going to make it easier for me to pass them on the jointer and through the planer. Now I'm working with rough lumber here, so the first thing I need to do is flatten one face. Once I have one flat face of the board, I can take that flat face, run it up against the fence of the jointer, and I can joint one edge. That'll help me run it up against the table saw later. Now I'll just follow that same procedure for the maple. And once I'm finished at the jointer, I'll bring it over to the thickness planer and I'll make both sides coplanar. This way I have two flat faces, both parallel to each other. And now I'll just finish squaring this up on the table saw, running the jointed edge along the rip fence. Now after milling them S4S a little heavy, what I'm going to do is put sticks in between them and let them sit overnight to acclimate and account for any movement. Now that the boards have had a chance to acclimate to the temperature of the shop and everything stayed square and there was no movement, I can now run them through the table saw and cut them into individual strips and get ready for the glue up. Once all the individual strips are cut, I'll put them in the order that I want, the orientation that I want, and I'm going to mark them with a carpenter's triangle or cabinet maker's triangle so I know that the direction they're going to go once I get them in the glue press. Now this piece needed a little fine tuning, so I'm just going to run it through the jointer once more and see if I can get a tighter seam on it. If not, then I'll use a hand plane. Now that everything's fitting good, when I did the dry fit, I went ahead and applied some glue to each joint, and now I'm going to put it in the glue press. Now this glue press is really cool. I got this at a woodworking show back in September out at a place in Jersey in Somerset. And what it does is it squeezes the glued up surface from all four directions, top and bottom, and also from the faces to keep everything as level as possible. So there's minimal hand planing afterwards and sanding. Now once I get a good glue squeeze out here on the seams, I'll just take a damp rag and wipe it all off. This way I don't have so much to scrape off later on when it's dry. So I let it dry overnight, pulled it out of the glue press. Now I can trim it up on the table saw to its final width. And now some final passes through the planer, level everything out, get it down to the thickness that I need, have it nice and flat. And it's back to the table saw one final time to use my crosscut sled and cut this thing to the length that I need. Now I'll run it through the router table here, chamfer all the edges, and have a nice bevel on them. Now I'm using a cove bit, and what I'm doing is making some finger groups to lift the cutting board. I'm using my feather boards as a start and a stop block so that I know exactly where I need to start and where I need to stop this groove. And now for the treatment here, this is some food grade mineral oil. I'm going to soak the cutting board with it, wipe it in real good, and let it dry, and then wipe off any excess. Okay guys, that's it for this week's shop project here. One of the cutting boards is already sold. I also have a cheese board that I got out of that and a second cutting board, so I'm going to sell those two probably as a set. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. I hope you like this project. And don't forget to subscribe and click the picture of the bell next to the subscribe button so you get notified every time I upload a video.